Alright, apparently now it's actually working on YouTube now. I really don't know what the hell I did. I don't understand really anything of what the hell I was doing, but I mean, whatever, it doesn't matter. Done. It's the way that I wanted it to be, so that's good enough. So yeah, the new controller came in. And I also have those grips on the sticks, so that way, I mean, I'm just trying them out. I'm seeing how well I play with them. Kind of weird. It feels like there's a glove on the controller. But for right now, I'm cool. I'm cool with it. I didn't think these things were as bulky as they actually were. But I just need to get used to the feeling of them. It takes slightly more effort to turn the stick, just a tiny bit more. It's not that big of a deal. I think I can get used to it. I knew that was gonna happen. Oh, what the hell. Now, I don't know if it's also a problem with the stick. I'm gonna take this off and see if the issue is actually the stick. The stick does feel kind of bad, but it's mostly because I can feel the dust. What the hell? Come on, man. It's this. It's like the dust. I can really feel the dust in the inside this stick. Hey, Sombra, what's up, dude? Let me grab a Kleenex real quick, and I'm actually gonna see if I can wipe some of that dust out. I blew into the controller earlier, but ooh, that's a lot of dust. Holy shit. Damn, this dude must have been putting this damn thing in the basement for like 10 years. More like 15. It is probably a good idea to store your controllers in a place where there isn't a lot of dust, because even if you don't use the controller anymore, if you take damn good care of it, you could sell it for pretty good price. And then you could have, let's say, somebody like me who might want to use your controller. And then you could make someone's fucking year. And with a good controller that feels really nice and all that good stuff. Okay. I mean, it's kinda... I can still like really feel like the contact when I'm moving the stick. It's a little smoother now, but it doesn't feel as smooth as the other controller. But I'm sure it'll just get better over time. I think that my previous controller was also like this. Also, I really have no idea why the hell my camera's being all funky. The buttons feel nice. They feel a lot more like bouncy and responsive, and that's a really good sign. It means that this controller was taken like the person was taking good care of the controllers, but I think that the place may have been a bit dusty just because like the contact that the stick has on the I don't know what the hell you call it for controllers. I guess like a frame or something. Like I can feel every time that I turn it, it doesn't feel like it's sliding. It feels like it's scraping. But I mean, that is a way to get dust off of a stick, so you know. It's just gonna take a little bit of time for me to get the dust out, break it in, you know. I mean, to be fair, this is an original Xbox controller, so like it is gonna. There's like no way that these things are gonna be in perfect condition. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'm expecting it to be in perfect condition, obviously, but like, you know. You always kind of want to hope that something like that is the case. Let's clip through. There you go. That wasn't bad. How the hell did I get this stick there? I really have no idea, man. Go. Fuck you. There we go. Okay. It's starting to feel nice. I'm starting to get used to it. Oh. Just slow down a bit. That's gonna hit me. Nope. Oh. Okay, that was just my inattentiveness. This is pretty fast. Oh crap. Slow down, slow down. Yeah, it's just gonna hit me. It went too fast. So you want to jump through that door and then spin dash or roll through the second one. That's usually what you want to do, and that kind of makes it much easier to do everything that you want to do. Hola, ¿qué tal? Spin dash, there we go. ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué tal estás? Entonces, no, del original. El primero Xbox. Sí, la primera Xbox. X caja. X caja. ¿Vale? Shit. Vale. Hello, GT. What's up, dude? Have I seen you in my stream before? Previamente estaba usando un... Hey, man. Pero no me gusta. Por alguna razón. Maybe I have seen your name around. It's just been probably a hot minute. Since early 2014. Did you change your username or something? Like I don't remember. Where's for the see. Let's see, es la verdad. I don't know. Your username does seem kind of familiar, at least to some degree. I haven't seen some old faces like I saw Ring Energy the other day, and like I hadn't seen that dude in like 5 fucking years. Like holy shit, man! I've been seeing so many people. I mean, life's been having its ups and downs. I made a lot of mistakes. Made a lot of changes in my life. You know, basically living. You know, just pretty much like everybody else. So, I mean... I mean, I've been having a couple of missteps here and there because I accidentally broke my controller, which I'm currently using the original Xbox controller. Oh shit, for running, because when I got my original Xbox for for running Crash to Insanity, I was just like, you know what? I like this controller. And it's not the Duke, it's not the big thing that everybody thinks about. It's the S controller that nobody knows about, that's kind of closer to the 360 controller. I like the way that the sticks function. It's much easier for me to actually do things like movement and stuff with it, which is kind of odd. The Xbox One controller, I just can't get all the movement down because of the way that they have the controller, like, what am I, like, registering the angles, the way that the 360 and the Xbox One controllers register the angles. It's, like, way different from the original Xbox. See, from what I've noticed, back in those days, a lot of, like, the input stuff is kind of more raw. Like, in a sense, being both more accurate and inaccurate. So, like, I'm sure you've heard the things about Sonic Adventure 1 and Sonic Adventure 2 having issues with, like, being able to go straight. The original Xbox has a little bit of that, just to less of an extent. But to me, that gives me more angles to work with, which actually makes me play better. And they've been kind of reducing it, and they've been changing the way that that certain things work with the sticks, I think, maybe to kind of modernize it, make it more towards, like, shooters and stuff. Whereas the older stuff is more like just geared towards platforming, or at least that's my opinion. Always had you foreheaded to a wall. Yeah, but I mean, like, it's been nice using this controller. It makes me play a little bit better. You've never seen that Skydeck clip before? Hey Bray, what's up, dude? Oh, what? Oh, fuck off. It's a pretty old one, but you only really see it if somebody's practicing, and most of the time you're probably not seeing people practice all that often. Most people, I believe, they either just go into trial mode or something. Sat down and play with it for a long period of time. It depends on the controller. Like, I personally do like the feel of the 360 controller and the Xbox One controller. I just don't like the sticks. I like the overall feel of the DualShock. You know, they no longer have the DualShock. The DualShock is discontinued. It's now, what are they calling it nowadays? What do they call the PS4 controller? DualSense? Was it DualSense? The DualShock was nice, but once they went into PS2, like, it feels good out on the outside, but it's like super fucking fragile on the inside. I do not recommend ever taking apart a PS2 or a PS3 controller. Ever. It's a pain in the fucking ass to put back together. And, like, you do have a high chance of breaking stuff. And L1 and R1 also have a huge chance of breaking. And when you're trying to put stuff back together, L2 and R2 don't like to click back, at least on the DualShock 2. I don't know about the DualShock 3, since they changed those to triggers. Now, PS1, the original DualShock, that was some good shit. Like, it was kind of clunky, but, like, that shit is built like a fucking tank, man. That shit ain't gonna break. That is not, it will not break. It will refuse to break. Because, they used circuit boards, like actual circuit boards made of, like, the plastic metal alloy that you would see in most controllers. But DualShock 2 and DualShock 3 use, like, a little plastic sheet that they use as a circuit board, and that shit can break super easily. I can't get behind it. And plus, I prefer the D-pad on the DualShock 1. The D-pad feels more, I guess, raw might be the way that I'd like to say it, but I'm not really sure exactly how I want to put it. But it also depends on what kind of controller you're more comfortable with. I'm a lot more comfortable with Xbox controllers, which is odd because as a kid I mostly played on a PS2 and a PS1. I mean, also a Nintendo 64. We had quite a few consoles, but I'm a lot more comfortable with. Sometimes this clip just does not fucking work. People have sung praises about the GameCube controller, but I don't like the GameCube controller very much. I only feel comfortable using it with very specific games. And like in all intents and purposes, that thing is a fucking tank. That is not going to break. Like, I'm very surprised. I would be very surprised if like anything breaks inside of a GameCube controller, except for maybe the stick. But like, it is a well-built controller, but it is not a controller that is built for my hands. Yes, you're right, Mr. Bud. Also, sorry I didn't get on TS this morning. I've been waiting for the controller to come in. But I do, I may sound like a fucking blasphemer, but I do not like notches. I hate notches. I understand that notches are good for like SM64 speedrunning, but I don't like notches. They interfere with my ability to play rather than help. Like, if I were using a GameCube controller right now, you'd probably see my movement look like absolute garbage. Yeah, not the notches around the stick. I can't do that. My hands hate it. It doesn't feel very smooth, and I'm used to just kind of like taking all of my angles independently. Now, to be fair, in a game like SM64, where there's like so many angles that you can choose, like if you know anything about SM64's angles and like TASing in the game and stuff, like you know that notches are kind of like required for a lot of the stuff, but for most games it's more of a thing. It's a good place to farm 1-ups, I know. It's better to farm 1-ups in Supersonic. Because you could get 100 rings, and then once it goes to 99 rings, you collect another ring, and then you get another 1-up. Trust me, man. This man's been running this game for almost 10 years now. It's a lot of stuff I know that you'd be surprised about. Plus, we all just kind of use trainers and cheat engines to bring our like life counter up to 127. Which, yes, by the way, the maximum life counter is 127. It's not 100 or 99 for some reason. Which is why you'll see me restart and my life counter doesn't change. It is changing, it's just that I have over 100 lives. eventually, if I continue practicing and do a lot of like restarts and stuff, you'll see the life counter drop. Then I might just boot up Cheat Engine for a second and then put it back up. But I mean, hey, that's just, you know, practicing with practicing on PC in a nutshell. Like, it's better to kind of just not waste your time and use programs to give yourself the lives you need for practice, because like when you're practicing there's nothing official going on. So I can understand why that'd be a gray area, but personally I don't really care. If it means that practice is faster and more like streamlined, then I'm all for it. Yeah, depending on the person, it can get in the way of 3D movement or 360-degree movement. But, I mean, it depends on the game and it depends on what you're trying to do. For me, I like my movement to always be smooth. I like to know that when I'm actually, like, pressing something, I like to know that the angle that I'm holding is my own angle and not something that's kind of guiding me to it. Because it just feels more natural to me when I do it. And it is also better for Sonic Adventure 1 and Sonic Adventure 2 and Heroes to not have the notches. Because of the way that movement works in these games. Which, yes, it will help you to a degree, but once you start getting into the much higher tier movement, you will be held back because you need to have very smooth turning, and you can't exactly have very smooth turning on a GameCube controller. So eventually your movement will start being hindered, and eventually you will need to, if you want to improve your movement to make it really smooth, you will need to eventually use something that is not a GameCube controller. Eventually. If you want to reach, like, super top level. Which nobody's reached that level in Heroes yet. Which is why it doesn't matter. Heroes isn't optimized enough where having the notches is going to make much of a difference. Because I mean, you could say all you want about whose movement is better between mine and Deku's. The fact of the matter is that what's going to make a difference is whomever's going to get the tricks the fastest and has the more efficiency, not who has the best movement. But I mean, by a technicality, playing on original Xbox, eventually, if you want to optimize the categories to like a really high extent, people will have to start using the original Xbox, at least for Team Sonic. And for Team Chaotix too, maybe, but we still don't know if Team Rose versus Team Rose is actually fat and slower or faster. We never really checked it. We just always assumed that they're the same time, but I think GameCube's actually faster by a little bit. Nobody's checked it, so we don't know. But yeah. But by a technicality, you would be able to get the best movement possible on original Xbox. The only thing is that you have to work so much harder for your movement. Like, even as it stands right now, I've been using this controller for, I don't know how many months now. The dreaded 59.94 frames per second? What do you mean? This game doesn't run at that frame rate on PC. It runs generally at 63. Like, I don't have fraps up right now, but if I did, it would be saying 63. I mean, technically I'm using a mod for that, but that's actually how the game is supposed to be run because of how they coded the game, which is really dumb. If you don't have that, the game actually has frame drops, and it like causes the game to actually not be as good to play because it will drop frames, and drop frames means dropped inputs. We don't like that. If you're playing SADX on your laptop, if it's like a Windows 8 or Windows 10, it might actually be at 60. Well, hey, the only thing that I can recommend is that, you know, the thing that any computer should have, an SSD, more RAM. Always have more RAM. Always have more RAM, except not. I don't know shit about computers. But what I do know is that I got like this it's a Dell Latitude. Yeah. It's a Dell Latitude E6420. Guess why I can always remember the number. And like it was a complete hunk of junk, but I somehow got Windows 10 on it. Got an SSD and like 16 gigabytes of RAM, which by the way was under $100. It was under $100. Oh boy. What the fuck just happened? That was odd. The game just like died. Oh yeah, and I had to set up the thing again, damn it. Yeah, dude, it was a crash. Something. It just like, it locked up and then just... But I mean, for all intents and purposes, the laptop that I have is not a bad laptop for what I was gonna use it for, which was school. But I haven't really used it. It needs a better battery. Because like I was using it and like the battery dies within 30 minutes and that's not good. I would need to like look for a good battery so that way it has decent battery life. And I've looked some stuff up about that and it just says don't go with generic because generic is just stupid. You should just buy the official thing even though it's like way pricier because reasons. The TLDR is do not trust third party. Unless it's a Hori pad. Trust someone who knows the shit, yep. Yours says that too. I mean, here's the thing: is that that laptop has been like sitting in like a basement. Okay. Good. And I guess there are good batteries up there. But yeah, the laptop's been like sitting in storage for like 9 years. It's old. It's really fucking old. And technically, it has no business doing what it's capable of doing. Hello, Tyler. What's up, dude? Your boy chillin'. Practicing, doing stuff. I'm starting to get used to it. The dust is kind of coming off now, finally. So it doesn't feel like the stick is scraping up against the side of the controller frame. No. I've been doing that way too late, and I don't know why. They lose their charge capacity and thus can't hold it charged anymore when left uncharged for ages. Yeah. That does make sense. Oh, also, if you're wondering why I'm using my normal mic and not my like, if you're wondering why I'm not using my, what's it called, my recording mic, it's because I have nowhere to put it. Pretty much. And right now, my USB ports are kind of shit. Not shit, but I just don't have a room for them right now. I probably need a wireless, oh hey chap. I probably am going to need, like a wireless keyboard or something. With the way things are right now. But I have spent way too much. I've spent absolutely way too much recently. There we go. Not a bad Emerald Coast. Starting to break in the controller. The buttons feel really nice too. The person who like took care of this controller really did actually take good care of it. I feel. It's not in pristine condition. You can kind of tell by the way the buttons are whether something's been used or not, and these pads have been used. It's just that they weren't used. They're not very worn. They're not stiff. You know how like new controllers, just usually the pads underneath are kind of stiff. The pads are not stiff, but they aren't loose, and they aren't like springing. Like they're not springing back up into my hands, kind of like a really worn one does, where it kind of like bounces up kind of half-assedly. I'm also, well, at the moment I'm not doing so, but I am also kind of testing out the little, like, I got some grips. to put on the sticks, but right now I haven't been using the one on the left stick just because I felt like it was kind of weird to do it at first, and it's, the stick itself isn't broken in because of the dust. So it kind of like leaves a lot to be not desired, but it kind of makes it so that way the stick isn't turning smoothly, and it makes it more difficult to use the grips with the stick up until the stick actually works. It's rubberless. Damn. Damn, dude. Yeah, I got these things because, the original Xbox controllers, stuff, like, wears incredibly quickly, like, within a month. How much time does the loop skip? What loop skip? Also, hello, Mr. Double P. You were late. Oh, okay, that's fine. Do you know what level? I'm guessing Emerald Coast. There's a couple loop skips. I mean, there's this one here. Oh boy. There's one here which skips the loop over here. Dude, what's up? And then there's this loop skip over here. Oh no. How much dumber could he have gotten? So, is it the first loop or the second loop? Because that changes a lot. Told him the ice grenades do nothing. Uh-oh. Second one does a lot. The second one saves a lot. Like, I mean, I guess I could just kind of like, can't really time things correctly if I do shit like that. Okay, so that's about 5 seconds. You lose 5 seconds not skipping that loop. And this loop skip is not that bad. The first thing that you need to know is you switch to auto camera. You kind of smash Sonic into the wall here. You jump up, and then you can't really see it, but you put Sonic kind of like right here, like really close to the edge, and then you kind of like aim this way, and then do a spin dash jump. Now, the reason why you do that in specific, let me show you if I'm... Oh, wow, I actually got the jump? Okay. Well, so, let me show you what happens if I'm... You see right there. Yikes, only 5 people. No, it's not a hover. It's a jump. Hello, Mr. Clown. If I'm too close to the edge here, sometimes I do get the jump, but most of the time, it's difficult. So you kind of want to put Sonic as right as you possibly can, and then aim up left. And then once you jump, you start just kind of like going into the dash panel. It's pretty easy eventually once you get it. Yeah, I don't really have too many, I'm not that popular of a streamer or, well, a YouTuber really, so I don't really get that many viewers. That's fine. I don't mind. Yikes. But yeah, dude, like, he ignored what you said. Let me read what you said. I mean, streaming is mostly for fun. I'm not necessarily doing it for money or viewers or clout or whatever. It's more of a social experience for me. It's what he was asking before. Dude, what the fuck? I mean, after all, this is a hobby. For the money, unsubbed, lol. Basically, the biggest time loss was definitely, so trying those skips will probably save me a lot of time. Now, the first one I do not recommend. I don't recommend this one because it saves a second or half a second. Like, you can do it, though I never really did it this way. I don't know, like, how the hell to really pull that off fast, but it only saves a second. Like, see how I get a 9 there. And I can get at best, like a sub 8. With the other thing, I would not recommend doing it. I wouldn't recommend doing it that way. Unless you're confident enough in your ability to pull it off. Because you're gonna be losing time and losing runs to that. More than like doing it the other way that I was showing. For the second loop, yes, you should be doing it that way. It's one of the most basic tricks in the run. Like, a lot of what I'm doing here isn't really like advanced techniques or anything, so like you probably should be following some of this stuff. It's just at the very beginning I would go with a different strat. So like for somebody who's a beginner, I would probably recommend something like I said, I don't really know how to pull this off. But you could do something like this. Now, this is what I would consider like beginner strats. Now, for single segment, that would have been a 104. And for a single segment, that would have been a 104. Why are the splits in Spanish? Because I am practicing for a marathon in Spanish. And that marathon run is in 5 days. Sunday, Tuesday, to 17 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And I mean, recently I've also been doing like streams strictly, not strictly, but where I'm mostly doing commentary in Spanish. Also, hello Lily. But yes, the entire reason why my splits are in Spanish is because Spanish streams, Spanish marathon, and I like shitposting. Like most of my splits are nothing but shitposts in Spanish. Ser is now on YouTube. Fucking Ser. It's probably better for you in on YouTube than it is on Twitch, to be honest. But I think that the delay isn't very good on YouTube. Like on Twitch, I think it's like a couple of seconds, but on YouTube, I think it's like 20. There was a setting that I didn't put on it. It's the same because quality options. I know that it looks way better on YouTube than it does on... Oh yeah. But I know that on YouTube, the quality is much better. And I'm still kind of new to, like, YouTube stuff, so, like, Oh yes, and also, for anybody who's here watching me on YouTube, I am also streaming on Twitch at the same time, which you could probably tell because of the restream bot. But I've been trying to dabble a little more into YouTube streaming. But I'm a lot more comfortable streaming on Twitch. The restream bot. So like if you're just thinking of something like, oh, well, why does he respond more quickly to Twitch people or some other stuff like that, it's the answer to the question is I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing on YouTube. Pretty much. There's like 15 seconds delay. Hey, what's up, Qatar? Los Pojes Voladores. Yeah. 15 seconds. Now, see, I saw that there was something about like a faster delay option for YouTube, but for some dumb reason I didn't click it. I clicked the second fastest one. So, do I stream more often on Twitch? I mean, yeah, I do. But nowadays I've been trying to stream on both using Restream. Just as an experiment to see, like, you know, just to see what the hell's going on, because it's like, I don't know. Just thought it might be a little more interesting to see what, to see how different the audience is and see, like, see what the difference is. Now, one thing that I have heard is that the YouTube, the fuck, Snake Jump, you right, DDD player. that is an interesting username, that's for sure. So it's like, one thing that I've heard is that, like, the general YouTube audience is a little bit more, what's the word? I guess you could say the, it's like, you know, let's go and watch this guy do a speed run. Huh, interesting. Yeah, I haven't been doing runs today because I'm breaking in my controller. But I probably will do at least one practice run. Interesting. I think the word I'm looking for is that the Twitch community is a little more unhinged. Maybe because I've seen like some people who like are YouTubers that have gone to the Twitch scene and are like the community's a little different. Something like that. I have noticed that it's kind of interesting because I mean I have been making videos for like 7 years or something. No, like 8 years or something like that of me doing ILs in this game. Okay, chap. But it's like I've also been streaming on Twitch since like 2013, 2012. Got recommended this after watching my AB run from 2013. Really? 2013, wasn't that the Segathon? I think that was a Segathon where I did an All Stories run on my 360. I was actually opening up the Segathon Marathon. It was run by Nagleria. Now if it's the one from like 2015, that was when I was doing runs on PC. Oh yeah, it did happen, sir. Like way back in the day. I think it was in like 2015, 2016. I decided to try to go for it. Is what you're really here for, action stages? Well, I'm sorry, sir. You have come to the wrong place. Big as a sin, except in Heroes. Back in like 2015, 2016, I actually decided that I was going to try to take most of the records for the stories because I kind of felt like, I mean, this definitely does sound kind of toxic. Yeah, I figured you were memeing, but I wanted to respond. I wanted to respond in a dumb way. Yeah, I wanted to take those records, and the reason why was not because I wanted to hold them, but because I felt that the people that were going for the records were kind of holding them kind of as trophies and weren't trying to push the runs as far as they could. So I went and I took Tails' story and Amy's story and Knuckles' story. And then All Stories I think I also took, but I don't remember. I definitely took 130 Emblem, which for some reason that 5-hour run is my second most viewed video on my YouTube channel, which what the fuck? Why would people want to watch that? How long have I been speedrunning? Starting this week, actually. It'll be 10 years. I started speedrunning sometime in like the second to last or the last week of October in 2010. Very, I do talk about it often, mostly because, like, I just kind of see people who, have started speedrunning, like, for a year or two, and they say, like, man, I've been in speedrunning a long time, and then I just kind of sit here as the old fucking geezer, and I'm like, dude, I've been speedrunning for 10 years. A lot has changed. A lot has changed. Champ, you shut your mouth. You've been speedrunning since fucking 2013. Yeah, most people, a lot of the older people aren't really around. At least people that started around when You were 6 years old 10 years ago, holy shit. I was 15. I was 15 years old when I started speedrunning. Um, technically, so it's a little weird because, in 2009, I did actually do a couple ILs in Halo 3 ODST, actually. It's really hard to memorize. Worst part is, if you die, you restart the snowboard segment. Yeah, it's kind of annoying, but, like, once you have your visual cue, it's not that bad. Yeah, it is pretty easy to know where to go. The issue is the kill plane. So in 2009, I actually did some like weird ILs of the Vidmaster Challenge Classic on Halo 3 ODST, which is in the level Uplift Reserve in 2009. And I actually did legitimately try to get what I would consider a world record for it. And the main time I was actually doing that was on a late start day. SA1, nope, 2010. But it's not SA1 in SADX. I got SA1 because, like, I'd been doing ILs in competition for Sonic Adventure for like a year at that point. Because, like, I asked my parents to get me a Dreamcast for Christmas and Sonic Adventure, and they got one. So Sonic Adventure 1 I started in 2011 technically, but Sonic Adventure DX I started in October of 2010. And I got my first world record in November? I think it was November. And see, here was kind of the funny thing was that, like a couple months afterwards, I remembered, because I used to watch a guy called Jawsin back in the day, and Darkspine Sonic, and like anybody who knows like anything about Sonic speedrunning, at least from like 2016, knows who Darkspine Sonic is. Maybe not anymore, but like, I remembered that in their descriptions there was a website called the Sonic Center, TSC. thesoniccenter.org, and I was like, you know what, I really want to submit my run, but at the same time I was like, well, I don't have any video proof. I don't want to submit that because I don't want people thinking I'm a cheater for not showing proof that I got it. I actually talked with a guy who, I think he was French, Mills Tales Prower, because I saw he was on the 360 leaderboards. Ahora, muchos niveles, speedruns de los niveles individuales, no sé cómo se dice en español, Lost World, por ejemplo. So, like, a way to clip through the roof. It's not really clipping through a roof. Exactly. Where was I? Where was I? Where was I? What was I? Oh yeah, so like I talked with him because I saw him on the Sonic Adventure leaderboards for 360, and he was like, hey man, like, I mean, you got it, and if anybody like says anything, I can vouch for you. And I'm like, okay. So I made my account in February of 2011, and then, you know, the guy at the time, Jawsin, actually like messaged me. He was like, damn, you're pretty good. I hope you take my Skydeck record. And then I actually took it the next week, and I was just like, holy shit. Like, my idol just fucking talked to me. That was... Damn, and actually he and I are still friends, we just don't talk that much. He's not that much of a talker, but like, Jawsin, he was the SADX guy before I was. I'm no longer the SADX guy, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. But the fact that I'm still kind of relevant in this game to some extent, and I've been helping, is actually been a nice experience, to say the least. But yeah, like that if you want to ask me how I got into speedrunning, I'm sorry to say that it isn't something inspirational. I got into speedrunning because I got SADX for the 360, and I was like, hey, I'm pretty good at this. So I started trying to do runs, and I actually started taking records. So I got into speedrunning because I had an ego. And it took me a while to actually get rid of that ego. Because I was more so focused on two things in particular, which was one, I think I'm good, I need to push myself further, and two, if I don't push the game, who else is going to? Which were my two mindsets back then. Eventually, I got into Heroes, I think, in 2012, and then I realized what it was like to speedrun a game mostly for fun. Did a lot of things. Helped me a lot. Heroes was really the game that kind of like cemented it and made me want to keep speedrunning because I was starting to get burnt out. In 2014, well, in 2013, I met Critical Sid, which, if anybody knows Heroes, you probably know Critical Sid. I met him, which he used to watch my hero stuff, and apparently he was kind of a fan of me until we became good friends. I saw he was, okay, see you later. Hasta la pata, tío. So like, I saw that Sid was running Rayman 3, and I was like, wait a minute, there's a third Rayman game? Because I fucking loved Rayman 2 as a kid, right? So I was like, dude, there's a third Rayman game? What the fuck? And then I got it, and then I started, like, finding glitches for it, and I was learning it. Oh, that's not a bad time. 108 is not a bad time, really. It's a pretty respectable time. So yeah, I got into Rayman 3. Oh, my mom's home, so you're gonna hear dogs barking. Sorry about that. So I got into Rayman 3, and then I had been watching a lot of Crash speedruns. I don't remember who got me into them, but that's how I met Ser. Who just left for work, Sir Sanju. And I actually learned Crash 2 because Sir Sanju and is Lost World the hardest stage to speedrun? I mean, you could argue that Lost World and Skydeck are the hardest, but really, I mean, I find them the most fun. My opinion, Twinkle Park's the hardest, but that's because I suck at it in comparison. But I mean, they do. Lost World and Skydeck are like the ones that require a lot of like technical skill. They're not necessarily the hardest. Depends on who you are. I make it look easy because, I mean, dude, I've been doing half of this shit for like 10 years now. Like, I mean, it's like, you know how those guys who are in bands, they just get up in front of a stage and they play their stuff. You know, they play the songs, singing the bass stuff, and then you're like, dude, you make it look easy. Well, these motherfuckers have been playing their instruments for 30, 40 fucking years. Like, of course they're gonna look like they're fucking amazing. Right? They practiced. They practiced day in, day out until it was second nature to them. Because the Casinopolis stuff is a bit tricky to learn. The building jump, it's not a jump, it's a hover. Also, hey, glitched blood. If you're jumping, it's inconsistent. If you're hovering, it's not consistent. Or it's not inconsistent, it's fairly consistent. Yeah, I got into Crash 2 because of those guys in 2014, and then in 2015 I was learning Crash Twin Sim. No, wait, no. I learned Freedom Planet as well, and then I kind of decided that Freedom Planet was just not my cup of tea, because I'm just not very good at 2D games. They require very different skill sets that just didn't mix with me. So it's like, well, I mean, I enjoy the speed run, but I just don't see myself enjoying it in the long term. And then 2015, I learned Crash Twinsanity. And then I was also trying to learn Spyro A Hero's Tale and ended up finding an infinite jump for any percent, and then that kind of went downhill, sort of. And I think at the tail end of 2016, I was learning Halo 2 Legendary. Oops, I did a cancel. So here's the thing about Speed Highway. And you don't jump here, you actually do a hover. So the first thing is, right before this building, you just kind of like do a tap jump. And if you don't get that jump, you kind of jump here. Do a little tap jump. Make sure you're not holding A, and then you kind of just aim over this way, charge your spin dash, hold A, and then hold forward. And then once you kind of start falling, you just do a jump dash. Now, it looks a little more inconsistent when I do it because I do it quickly, and I don't like take the time to go higher. If you take the time to go a little bit higher, like, this is very easy to do. Like, you could see I land all the way over here. Which is a thing it's a spin dash hover. Which, the hover is just a fancy way of saying, a hover is basically just taking the floatiness of the jump and you apply it to a spin dash. So this little thing here, where Sonic floats, that is basically a hover. And the game will track how long you've held the A button while in this form. And after 60 seconds, you no longer get any floating. So, let's say for right here, for example, I just tap the A button, and then I charge the spin dash, hold the A button. The game doesn't let me go off the edge. Okay, game. Okay, so you see here, I'm just doing like a little tap jump, and then charging my spin dash, and you see how much I float. Now let me just do a full jump here, and then try to do a hover. You see how it's different? That is hover mechanics in a nutshell. So things like, say, Casinopolis, or this building thing in particular where you get over to here, is dependent on hovering, not jumping. Now, let me show you what it looks like if you do a jump. You'll probably notice one thing in particular, and that's that you don't get nearly as much distance. And that's because you will fall more, and you don't get as much, distance. You see, I barely made that. I barely made it. And that's because when you jump, you lose speed. You see how much slower I'm going? So this is me tapping the jump button. See, and this is me holding it. See how I kind of slow down a little bit after a while? So, in places like Speed Highway, you do a hover. You do a hover, which you just basically do a little tap jump, just like that. Sometimes the camera kind of likes to screw you over, but if you do it slowly, it's not really that bad. It does take some time to get used to the tricks. It really does, but once you kind of get the stuff down, it's like, Well, I just want to say that, like, there's a very good reason why when I do this stuff, I make it look easy. It's just that I've done a lot of the stuff. I know what I'm doing. It's not like I'm some guy who has, like, an amazing amount of skill in the game. It's just that I know what I'm doing. It's the knowledge that really makes that difference. If I didn't, you know, spend time to kind of sit down and try to understand what was going on, I probably wouldn't be nearly as consistent as I am. Or, well, also at the same time, I probably wouldn't be able to pick this game back up after not playing it for, say, like a year or two. And I'd probably be incredibly rusty. And, but a lot of the times, really what I'm going off of is by knowledge, not by, you know, skill or feel. If that makes any sense. But yeah, I kind of described my speedrunning history in a nutshell with the games I started learning, Halo 2 Legendary, and then there may have been another game that I'm missing. I did try to learn Sonic 3D Blast, because Sonic 3D Blast is one of my favorite games. But I found the speed game to actually be kind of boring. Like, I enjoy playing the game casually to fucking death, but I just didn't enjoy playing it, like speedrunning it. I like games that usually have a lot of glitches and a lot of tech, and 3D Blast is such a solid game where there really isn't that many glitches. So most of it is literally just your movement and understanding the mechanics. That's about it. Let's see here, I'll do Emerald Coast a few more times, then I think maybe I'll do a run. Sonic 3D Blast one, that's definitely a new one? Really? I fucking love that game, man. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a great game, but it is fun. Like, it feels refreshing. I mean, my favorite Sonic game is Heroes. That's also a thing that people get shocked about. I don't know, something about the game, I just enjoy the way that it is. That is not for me to say. One of your favorite games? Interesting, actually. That is an interesting opinion, that's for sure. I mean, I did really enjoy Shadow the Hedgehog outside of its edginess. But I also had it on PS2, so I'm wondering if I had it on Xbox, maybe it would have been a more enjoyable experience. Because if you've ever played any Sonic game on PS2, you know... I actually really liked Black Knight as well. Black Knight had some fucking tunes. There were some fucking A+ bangers in that shit. Oh yeah, they are the better ones for Shadow, for sure. But I had the PS2 version. Oh yeah, the exploration was probably one of the reasons why I enjoyed Shadow the Hedgehog. It's one of the reasons why I enjoy S80X way more than S82. Oh, I never practiced Twinkle Park. I need to do a Twinkle Park. What the hell? Why am I jumping too early? Okay. Hit me. There we go. I did try to learn guitar, but I honestly just didn't feel like putting in the effort. Oh, I don't have any rings. Bullshit. Still doable. Huh, got it. I was pretty big into, like, Guitar Hero way back in the day, and I still kind of am, to be honest. But it's like, I tried guitar and it didn't really appeal to me. Though I might be okay with trying to learn bass. Electronic music for a bit was actually what finally inspired you to pick up guitar, yeah. No, that's not a good enough jump. Oh, fuck off. There you go. I've always been more of a, like, voice guy. Though I never really got that good at singing. Most of what I'm capable of doing is changing my voice. It's more of an annoying thing. It's not necessarily tough. It's a lot of skills that I'm actually not necessarily very good at. So I struggle with this level the most. Like, it's the level where I'm actually behind a lot of people. So, like, say, I'm pretty sure Nixer and Dage can get sub 120 fairly easily. I struggle to get sub 120 in Twinkle Park. I have always struggled with Twinkle Park. Tried singing, but you can't do it. What the hell? Why did I go off to the left there? I'm kind of I'm biding time until, like, my dogs get all the barking out of their system. Because usually it takes them like ages, and I cannot concentrate at all while they're barking. And usually it takes them like 20-30 minutes to get it all out of their system. And once my parents come home in, like, usually either together, or my mom gets home at about 3:30, my dad gets home at about 4, and then my dogs are already upset when my mom comes home. My dad comes home, and then they get even worse. So, like, the barking kind of persists for, like, an entire hour, usually. It's one of the reasons why, back when I was streaming regularly, back in 2014, I stopped. I would never stream in the, like, afternoon and evening. It's one of the reasons. Another one of the reasons is just because, I don't have much of an attention span in the evening as I do in, like, the morning. Damn. I was getting this on the other controller. Why am I having trouble with this one? Okay, game. Damn. There you go. Yeah. The whole cart thing is really annoying. Go park more like Cryptic Park. Okay, Zoomer. But actually, kind of like expanding on everything that I had, like my history with speedrunning is that I think in 2007 or something like that, I was interested in home run contest and target test for Melee. And, I mean, I did like the time trials in Crash 3 when I was a kid as well. Of course I liked those. Crash 3 and, Wrath of Cortex, I liked the time trials and stuff. But, like, I didn't really know that there was a thing that you could do called speedrunning back in those days. I got into speedrunning in, like, 2006. I used to watch a bunch of, like, Halo 2 speedruns. Back when I didn't exactly know that speedrunning was a thing, I kind of just saw that, oh wait, oh man, these guys are going fast, they're doing cool tricks, I like this. I mean, it's an 11-year-old kid. I didn't really know what was going on, I just kind of enjoyed it. Back in those days, I was like a ridiculous, like, I was a fucking glitch fanboy. Back in Halo, I tried to do my own, like, glitch team and stuff because I saw people like, if you know anything about, like, Halo, anything about, like, Halo glitch hunting history, you would know about Halo 3 tricks, Hold X to trick. I was a motherfucking fanboy. I was awful about it, and I loved every single thing about it. Interesting that Wrath of Cortex was your first Crash game. It's definitely the worst of the actual, like, main series games, is what I would call them. Not considering, like, you know, any of the spin-offs. Which, I mean, it's not a bad game. It's definitely not a bad game, it's just not really a great game. But Wrath of Cortex was kind of a tragedy because they wanted to do so much with the game, but they couldn't. Because they ran out of time and they had to basically make a Crash 3 clone. Really sad. But, I mean, yeah, I was a fucking glitch fanboy. I think it was one of my first PS2 games, and I don't even know how I had the patience to sit through the loading screens because I had the original Wrath of Cortex, like the blue label Privyet. Hello, I do not speak Russian. I can read Russian, kinda, but I can't speak it. I'm sorry, I don't know. I can't read Russian. Считал, что я тебя не найду. I can't understand. First console you ever had? First console I had, I don't know. Might have been a NES. Actually. So the thing about when I was a kid playing video games was that I had very poor motor skills, and my mom was not capable of actually like getting me a what do you call that? What do you call those assistants? Like, was it an IEP? I don't remember what they're called. What are they called? Where like a child has like either a learning disability and requires an assistant? I feel like it's IEP, but I don't remember. So what my mom did was she got video games. She actually like bought a whole bunch of consoles and stuff. And I mean, a lot of that was how I learned how to be able to be able to just have basic coordination. Which, I mean, yeah, sounds like a sad story, but hey, your boy got to play video games. Yeah. Technically I was supposed to have one of those for learning my fine and gross motor skills. I was supposed to have some kind of assistant to help me with my skills, because I couldn't do them. Okay, that was ridiculous. But they wouldn't get me anything, so my mom kind of got me video games. So I played a lot of video games, and I think the first thing that we had was either like a Macintosh or a NES. I remember we had a Macintosh. Played it a little bit, but like that was so many years ago. Like, I don't remember that much about it. I was only 4 years old. I don't even know what my first game was, but I remember very specifically when we got a Nintendo 64 when I was 5 years old. No, it's not a console, but it might as well have been one. Yeah. My mom also taught me how to read when I was really young. And the reason she told me the reason why she wanted to teach me how to read before I came into school was because she was always made fun of for not being able to read very well as a kid in school. And so she didn't want me to go through the same thing. So she taught me how to read when I was young. And I mean, like, I would say that that's just something that all parents should be teaching their kids, because like reading is such a useful skill. And like people who can't read at like a 12th grade level, which a lot of people that pass high school and stuff can't read at the 12th grade level, is kind of scary to me. But I mean, with social media, people are at least more efficient. Whatever. But yeah, I played a lot of games. It's what got me on his own by relentlessly asking questions about writing he could read by age 3. I was able to read chapter books when I was 5. I remember reading, there was some kind of book about some rabbit or something I was reading in kindergarten, but I don't really remember. But I wasn't capable of tying my shoes. I could read, but I couldn't tie my shoes or hold a pencil. Which is kind of funny. In my opinion, that's hilarious. But I mean, you know, I can function. I can function, like, do regular things. I mean, I speedrun input-based games, so, like, you know. I would say that at least my abilities to play games and, like, do basic things, like, worst things that usually happen would be that I would try to hand something over to somebody and then just drop it. That does tend to happen. But, I mean, like, doesn't matter, right? Because at the end of the day, I can function. That is what is important. As long as you are capable of functioning, does it really matter if you have a disability or some kind of thing? Like, I always kind of just think, like, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. You might just kind of see someone, you know, in a wheelchair and be like, oh, poor guy, but a lot of those people don't really like you to kind of, like, treat them as somebody outside of being a normal person, you know? You know, they're living their life, they're functioning as best they can, and that's really what matters. I can function, and I'm nowhere near as, like, dysfunctional or have anything that actually, like, really impedes my life outside of things that are hilarious. That's the worst RNG? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. Right now, the answer is Destiny. Because Destiny won't give me my motherfucking Arbalist. I want to get that damn gun. Being disabled, you hate... Especially by disability workers, sometimes you get treated like, yeah. Like, there is one thing, is that I have terrible spatial knowledge. You do have to hold my hand when it comes to, like, trying to put things together. I don't want to remind the butt of this, but I did spend, like, 8 hours installing a cooling unit for my PC because I couldn't figure out how to do it. I mean, there was an issue with, the thermal paste hardened. So there was that, but like I spent 3 hours actually trying to install the heatsink. And like after I was done, I was like, I feel like such a fucking idiot, but I did it. And the solution was so simple, and I was just kind of thinking like, why the fuck couldn't I figure this shit out? Damn, it do be like that sometimes. I'm starting to get that, I'm starting to get the feel for it. Again. Oh, damn. Well, see, I actually broke my last controller by taking it apart. It was my other original Xbox controller, and, well, the insides, like, there's the cable that connects to the circuit board is really odd with how you have to, like, position it so that way you can put it back in, and I knew eventually that it was going to break the controller, and it did. It broke the controller, which is why I needed to buy a new one. But I'm okay with that, because, like, I figured by the first time I opened it up that I was going to break it once I saw those wires. So I kind of figured that it was already dead by the time I put it back together. It just took, like, I think 2 or 3 months to actually catch up and break. So I was using my Xbox One controller in the meantime. You can constructing something, okay, it's easy to put it back together. You always forget, you always break something. Damn. Yeah, see, I'm usually the person that is overly cautious up until I'm not. Like opening my controller, like, usually the first time if I'm trying to open something up, I, like, can take way longer than I need to kind of, like, open something up because I'm always scared of breaking something. And then I usually end up breaking something anyways. Which, I mean, the takeaway for the Xbox controller is when you get one, just don't open it. Just don't open it. Like, the way that they constructed the original Xbox, the S edition, by the way, not the Duke. At the end of the day, don't fucking open it unless you know exactly what you're doing, because you will probably break it, because the wires are put in such a way where you have a pretty high chance of breaking it. Okay, see ya, Thunder Dragon. It's just kind of dumb. I'll do speed highway or skydeck one more time, and then I'll do like a run or two, and then be on my merry way. I apologize if people don't like my ranting, but I do tend to like just go on tangents. This is one of the reasons why I enjoy streaming. My face is a tangent. Yes. Hey, Sam. Yeah, skydeck once and then do run. Do a run or two, depending on how I feel. Here we go. So what have you been up to, Sam? And it's late. I do enjoy just kind of talking. The appeal of streaming to me has always been like I get to see people to talk to, so I don't go insane while I play games. For me, it's been a lot more about the social experience, which is generally why I'm less formal and less like commentary based. Damn, it do be like that. It double do be like that. $111, not a bad speed highway. I still have free camera on, yeah. Alright. Let's do run. Someone found my YouTube channel by seeing that I was streaming, so eventually a boy does have to deliver. Though I would not expect any PBs or anything, because splits aren't even PB, but chill stream. Yeah, actually it's kind of interesting because one of my friends, Pedrogas, actually is gonna, I don't know why, but he just was like, hey, G-Pro, you want to do a speedrunning Q&A video? And I'm like, sure. That he's just like, oh shit, let me go make it right now. And then I was just kind of like, well, what, did he expect me not to say yes? Considering, like, I do enjoy, like, talking about things like speedrunning and glitch hunting and that kind of shit. And I mean, like, anybody that knows me knows that I tend to get a little bit tangenty when I talk about that kind of stuff. I find that stuff, like, really fascinating. And it's also really fun to, like, just kind of talk about, if that makes any sense. I've been having trouble with that lately, and I don't know why. $103. Not a bad time. Not a good time, but it's not a bad time. Damn it, I keep forgetting that my damn mouse is dead. Ran out of AA batteries since it's a wireless mouse, and I ran out of AA batteries, and also what's it called? I ran out of AA batteries, couldn't find any, so like I actually ordered some. But like my I instinctually grab the mouse, and then I like try to use it, and then it's just like, well, fuck. Keep forgetting it's dead. Yeah, someone messaged me on Discord, so I was like, I wanted to at least kind of like check to see who it was, so I know what to expect. Click out of the game, you know, like a good streamer should. Yeah, I noticed it was a group. It was a group thing. Minus 6.9. That's plus. Yeah, there we go. That's how it's done. Volar como pendejo. By the way, pendejo actually means pubic hair. I mean, technically it also means idiot / asshole, but the literal translation of the word is pubic hair. Fun fact. So if anybody's been calling their friends pendejos because they know that it's a Spanish word to mean asshole, just remember, you're calling them pubic hair. It's just like avocado technically means testicles, as per the Nahuatl language, which is the, it can be a compliment. It can be. Nahuatl is the, it's like the most well-known of, it's the most well-known, like, native language of South America that came from, I don't remember, I think it was the Mayans, who spoke Nahuatl, and, like, the Aztecs. Yes, the Aztecs. I always forget. God damn it! Why do I do that? I need to stop doing that. Hey, it happens. Mistakes happen. It's actually the name of the language. No, Nahuatl is the actual name of the language. But I mean, like, when you think of a Mayan language or an Aztec language, you're not actually thinking of the language, you're thinking of the language family. The language family is what actually is the thing that you're thinking of. It's just like Chinese. When you think of Chinese language, you're actually not talking about a language, you're talking about the Sino-Tibetan language family, which consists of, like, Taiwanese, Mandarin, Cantonese, etc. I don't know why we call them by that, because it's kind of odd to me, because, like, you know, to me, being a language nut, I know that, like, these aren't language names, they are language families. It would be kind of like saying, this is an example that I'm not sure most people will get, unless they are already, like, a Spanish speaker, is like saying that calling like Portuguese and Spanish and Catalan the Iberian language. because they come from the Iberian Peninsula. And that's like the equivalent, and they are part of a language family that has broken off from Latin. It's just kind of interesting to think about that. There's like, especially with like Native Americans and stuff like that, there's all these different languages and like language families, but you might only think of one or two, like say Nahuatl or Navajo or, you know, other things, but there are hundreds. And a lot of them were killed off by Europeans. Because either the tribes like just kind of like got destroyed, or some other tribes actually dominated them and destroyed them. It's like oh no. Oh shit. I don't know where I am. Now it should be fine though. I just chose the wrong visual cue. You could call it that. But the Americans also did that with the whatever. Oh, like if you know, I wouldn't even call it a technicality. America was, like, the United States was really, really fucking destructive. I mean, really destructive. American French no longer exists. We took a lot of, like, Native American culture and then we put them on reservations instead of living in harmony with them, which, like, people had to walk for like 1,000 miles to get to those reservations just for the Europeans. A lot of history is incredibly sad and really fucked up. And Europeans have been extremely destructive with a lot of like cultures and stuff like that. It's not just the English, it's not just the Spanish, it's not just the Italians or the Portuguese. A lot of Europeans have had more of a destructive mentality. But I mean, like, it's not just Europeans. Asians have been the same way too. It's been like pretty much all cultures. But I mean, like, you know, since being from a European, like a place that originated from European people, it has more impact on me. Like, say, the Japanese with the Ainu people, for example, is a really good example of when Japan, like, basically destroyed most of the languages of the language family that Japanese is from that native place. A lot of the natives were like had very bad lives over the past couple of centuries or millennia. I'm actually not too sure about that because I didn't look into it too much. It's kind of sad knowing about all the destruction that's been happening because of people. But you know, it kind of just happens. Yeah, the Americans did exploit the natives rather than just committing genocide, but at the same time, we still, like, I mean, making them walk, destroying their homes, their lives, and then basically having them watch as their families you know, die because the old people can't survive taking taking walks that are that long. History is both fascinating and very sad. This isn't very good. Oh. Okay. I do want to say though that I mean it is very easy to get me to change the subject. If you wish to if you don't like what I'm talking about, just ask me a question about the run or speedrunning or something and I'll go on a tangent. Oh yeah, I still have this on debug information for the sticks and whatnot. I should turn that off. Over here. Oh, like especially people on YouTube who may or may not be feeling like none of this stuff matters. You can ask me a question, talk about pretty much anything. I do like considering myself to... I do enjoy talking about practically anything, as long as I know about it. How many stars do you think there are? At least 12. Ah! My dick is doing fantabulous. Sounds like my mom's making dinner. I am a bit famished. This much is true. Doom, what the fuck did you just put? Oh, I was about to say, what the fuck are you posting? It's not even showing up on Chatty. What you doing, brother? Oh, you were doing Gamut. Hey, Coliadin, what's up, dude? Boy doing 2 wins, 2 losses. I'm still on a 5-win streak, technically. Well, it's not even technically. I'm on a 5-win streak, and I don't even understand how. Damn. I did have a fair amount of YouTube people come in today. I find that interesting. It's like the YouTube algorithm, like, smiling upon me for some reason. Like, my stream being recommended to people with my YouTube channel's, like, super small. It's kinda interesting, to be fair. The YouTube algorithm... Stop lagging, please. YouTube algorithm is an interesting thing. A resurgence of Sonic content on YouTube lately? That is a possibility. Dude, your boy making bank off of Sonic? Let's fucking go. Dude, I can't wait for my $0 check. The $0 check because my YouTube channel is not monetized. I mean, technically my Twitch channel's monetized, but I mean, like, meh. Still a bread. Dude. Fuck. Okay. Like, I mean, I don't get shit off of Twitch. Since being an affiliate, you need to get like you need to actually like make $100 before you can actually get a payout. And I've been a partner for 3 years, and I've only made $25. Or an affiliate for like 3 years, and I've only made 25 bucks. And I mean, I never advertise it because, like, why should I? If you want to give me money, that's fine. If you don't want to give me money, I really don't care. I will still be the same regardless of whether you give me $100 or whether you give me jack shit. Emotional support is the best thing you could ever give. And a brand new car. Damn. That is a real brother right there. Your boy could use a new set of wheels. I don't actually have any. I don't actually have a car. What the heck? That fucking capsule! It locked me so hard. Holy shit. Yeah, one of the reasons why I never wanted to monetize my YouTube channel is especially because of like ads and stuff. I've always kind of just thought that like, what's the point? I like anybody being able to see my content, and I think ads are fucking annoying. Like, I'm not making my content to make a profit. I make my content just because I think that speedrunning and glitch stuff is interesting, and because, you know, like, my stuff's supposed to be shared. I would never make my shit like sub only. I would never like do paywalls or anything like that, because I ain't about that life. Plus, I think like being a YouTuber, honestly, is a really hard job. I really feel bad for anybody that uses YouTube to make a living. Twitch, I mean, I remember watching something, one of Trihex's videos recently, if anybody has like seen anything from Trihex, that one thing that's like sponsored by G Fuel. He did have a good point when he said like, he did have a damn good, he had a damn good point. And that's like streaming, like the best way to kind of be a streamer. Like, you're not just dealing with like a normal job. It's not like a, well, you could just kind of like go 9 to 5 and then once you're done, that's it. You kind of have to go the whole day because streaming is very dependent on your mental state and your emotions at the time. That's not to say like it's very hard or it's very easy. It's just a very different job where you do have to take care of your mental state as well. But streaming is still a fairly easy job to do at the end of the day because you could just stream and that's about it. But it's definitely not something I could do as a job, that's for sure. I would not enjoy it as a job, because then I would be more streaming for things that I don't really want, because like I said earlier, the biggest thing that I get out of streaming in particular, the biggest like thing I get out of streaming in particular is that I like the social aspect of streaming. I like having people to come around and then talk to me, and then I talk to them while I'm streaming. That is the biggest, that is how I enjoy streaming. That is the biggest takeaway I get from streaming, is that I have people that I can just kind of talk to and chill with people I can make friends with and whatnot while I stream. That is, like, my biggest takeaway. And it's not easy to live off of it either. And I would say that I'm not necessarily like someone who has the mental capacity to be able to stream for a living, because I mean I can be very I cannot keep my emotions in most of the time. I am kind of a person that just does not have the capability to, like, keep emotions in or hide things. It's generally very easy to tell when I'm upset. At least if you know me. If you don't know me, it's probably pretty fucking hard to tell, because I'm kind of a weird person. But I mean, like, streaming just is not my thing for a job. It's entirely a hobby. It's the same thing with speedrunning and Twitch finding and whatnot. To me, it's just fun. If it weren't fun, I wouldn't have stuck with it for 10 years. I mean, there's a lot more reasons to it. Like, I learned a lot of, like, actual, like, life stuff from speedrunning from people that I've met, so there's more to it than just the games. Community's also been a big part as to why I've enjoyed being a speedrunner and speedrunning for as long as I have. It's also why, if you ever, like, see me say certain things or get really passionate about something, in terms of, like, you know, if I see someone talking about something speedrunning related and I get very passionate and potentially, like, actually upset, generally it's because speedrunning does mean a lot to me. And it has had a fairly large impact on my life, which a lot of people that I've been friends with for a while know that feeling. Because the community has been actually fairly impactful on a lot of people that I've known, including myself. It's kind of interesting. There's more to these things than just what a lot of people see on the surface. This is risky. Okay, got it. Ah, your boy is hungry. You know, I have thought about something like Patreon before, as a means of, like, you know, in case people actually want to try to support me for some reason, but the problem is that, like, what the fuck would I offer? Because I'm not gonna provide any extra content. It's just like, I mean, I don't really care whether you give me money or not. Like, what? You want access to my super secret unlisted strat playlist, even though, like, all of my, like, strat playlists are public, it's just the videos aren't? And the only reason why a lot of them aren't is specifically because when I go on those, when I'm just like recording stuff and finding stuff, I can sometimes even upload like 10 videos a single day, and that is not exactly very... That's annoying. People would just see like bulk videos of me finding random shit that they have no interest in. So I generally just unlist the stuff and then put it in a playlist and then share it. The playlists are all public. Actually, I didn't have Halo 1 for some reason. I don't know why. I must have forgotten to actually make one. But I made one earlier this year to show to Pedro and I think some other person. I don't remember. But I made the playlist specifically for, you know, in case people just get curious to see the stuff that I found or stuff that I've uploaded. It's mostly just as documentation. It's not necessarily stuff that I'm like the first to find, but rather just stuff that I've recorded and stuff that I upload. Though I haven't really done much of those kinds of like uploads recently, just because of the fact that I've been doing other things like playing Destiny or working on learning Spanish or doing other things rather than trying to find new strats and stuff. I mean, the run's not bad. It's sub 32. Sub 32 is a pretty good pace. Oh shit. It's no longer... Wait, it still could be. It still could be sub 32. I'm gonna make it sub 32. I'm gonna try to go fast with this. I'm actually going to try to save time because I want this to be a sub 32. Will it be a sub 32? I have no fucking clue. Let's find out though. Yeah, I'm actually trying. I'm kind of playing like half IL here. I'm not actually like fully trying to do like an IL. Estoy cansado. This is what you meant to say, chap. Also, why are you tired? Okay, let's see. We are going to do it. Watch out, he's up to something. Sub 32. That's how it's done. Sub 32. That is how you pull off a decently fast egg viper. It still could save 2 seconds off of it. That was I mean, I fell off at the end of Winnie Valley. I know. I remember most of the issues that I had. And this kind of stuff is why I say I probably will never do. Why I say I'll never hit a 35 is because like a run like this, which I mean is actually fairly tragic considering my skill level, was still a sub 32. So the fact that I get this is why I know for a fact that if I submit Sonic Story to a marathon, if I put my estimate at 35 minutes, I'm never going to reach 35 minutes. And the reason I'll never reach 35 minutes is because, like, this was considered almost entirely a train wreck by my like skill level. And I subbed my estimate by 3 minutes still. But I mean, like, that's just kind of what happens when you're really familiar with a game. If you've been speedrunning a game for almost 10 years and all this stuff, you have a pretty damn good idea as to what you're going to get. Like, I can still see myself getting a 34 in the case of like certain things, but you know. Jap, why the hell did you text me? My phone was off. Damn, Discord, you changed your shit again? At least on mobile? I mean, I'm not necessarily, like, upset with the changes, but, you know. It's just weird that, like, they always change stuff. Why am I getting... Wait, I thought... Alright, I'm gonna go check to see if my mom's making food or not. If she's making food, I'm gonna wait until she's done cooking before I Why is this a thing? Before I do anything else, I'm gonna go check to see if my mom's making food first. If she isn't making food, I'll do one more run and then end stream. If she is making food, I'll keep practicing. Okay. I'm, Alright, my mom just started making dinner. So, I'm going to do one more run and then I'm gonna cut the stream. How long have I been streaming for? Only 2.5 hours. But I mean, like, okay, let's try. I'm gonna try with the grip on the stick. Yes, I'm going to cut my stream with scissors. Oh yeah, by the way, Doom, what are the bounties for today? What's Banshee got for you, brothers? I'm trying to get this damn thing on. Kind of annoying. Come on. Banshee now it gives you bow nade launcher. Fuck grenade launchers, man. I'm tired of fucking nade launchers and I'm tired of nade launchers and shit. I'm also kind of tired of hand cannons, but I mean, I have the sunshot, so like. The only annoying one is nades. Alright. One run. One more run, let's go, and then one more run and we can call it a day for streaming. Austero. It does affect my movement a little bit, but not by that much. By the way, I don't know if anybody's been paying attention to stuff. I don't know why that happened, by the way. Oh, like, in terms of, like, Sonic speedrunning. I'm sure most of the people on Twitch already know about this, but, for the YouTube side of things, there will be a Break the Record live, for SADX, and, I'm sure it'll probably be kind of fun for most of you people to watch. I will not be participating. Let's ignore this run and pretend it never happened. I won't be participating, but I'm thinking about whether or not I will be a commentator for it. But it should be a fair amount of fun for at least some people, and I think there is a prize if you can break the all stories record. I don't know if anybody will, because I don't think Nixer's actually going to join in on it. But I mean, you never know. I mean, it's more SADX content, and that's a bit hard to come by these days. Yep. Like I've been seeing the community be more active, but at the same time, it's not as common as it was a couple years ago. The community has been getting a lot better. Though, I mean, there have been a couple of misunderstandings recently that have been causing some drama. What the fuck? Ranting? I don't know if I'd call this ranting. Oh, I guess you could call it ranting, now that I'm thinking about it. I'm more so just talking. Uh-oh. I missed that. Oh, what the heck? Oh, wow. Messed that up twice? That's odd. Now my question is it due to my attention span, or if it's due to the or if it's due to the grips? My bets are on the attention span, though. I also haven't eaten since I got up. Okay, game. Bruh. Wait, how's that a best seg? That wasn't even that fast. It wasn't that fast. Why, how is it a best seg? Oh man. Okay, so I know this is probably not necessarily a thing I should be bringing up, but considering how janky everything is, I'd like to know whether or not the restream bot is working, considering like I was getting a bunch of YouTube comments, or YouTube chat, whatever's, and I'm not. If anybody in Twitch stream could, yeah, I saw it work too, but could one of you go over and check it? Hey Travis, what's up, dude? Because like this damn thing sometimes doesn't work, and I want to know whether or not I'm like missing stuff, or if it's just that the chat is dead. Could be chat is dead. But I can't tell because the restream is jank AF. Ah. Okay, yeah. Doom tested it. Okay. So I know chat is just dead. Interesting though that I got like a lot of activity for a bit. That was something new. I guess it was just people passing by. Fine by me. I mean, outside of like Ray, and I think there was another one who have been kind of active with both of them. Hey Chap, why the hell did you fucking text me? My phone was off. It's a lot better to just like message me via Discord. Clip through. There we go. Okay. There you go. Dead chat. Speaking of, while I am falling. This run isn't that bad, all things considered. Yeah, generally lurkers should just lurk and all that good stuff. But you always gotta know if this stuff is actually like working, you know? No, these are not my PP splits. These are actually like a modified version of my console splits that I was using just for a marathon. I actually don't know where my PB splits are, and I wouldn't run against them anyways. Because I don't want to run against PB because I'm practicing for a marathon. That is in 5 days. Next Saturday at 2:17. What the hell, man? Sometimes that happens. It's kind of dumb. Yeah, I haven't been interested in PBing in Sonic Story for quite some time. It's why I don't, why I'm not doing all of, like, the new stuff. Though I may learn the Windy Valley thing outside of, like, doing it in ILs. Because I learned how to do it for ILs. I just don't know how to do it for single segment, because I never bothered to learn it. Because at this point in time, it's like... since I'm not really interested in... Since I'm not interested in getting a PB out of Sonic Story, I don't really want to learn stuff. I'm mostly just playing for the sake of either doing marathon runs or just a pastime. Actually, the reason why I picked this ADX back up and submitted it to the marathon was because one of the staff members used to watch me run this game 6 years ago, and he was like, "Man, I used to lurk in your streams. I really liked your old streams." And then I was just like, "Oh, well." I figured like it would be a nice gesture to submit the game. And also to help, you know, practice my Spanish and stuff. But I was wondering what game I would submit. And I picked SADX. SADX was the thing that I mean, I've been running the game for a long while. It is a game that I can just kind of pick up without too much preparation, and then just kind of like do marathon runs. Like you give me a day or two to de-rust, and I'm probably gonna be getting 30s and 31s again. Which is almost what happened this time around, but the only difference is that instead of like, but because I was like trying to do commentary and stuff in Spanish, I wasn't necessarily getting all of the like all of the stuff I usually get. So yeah, it took me a little bit longer to start pumping out better runs. And now like my average is starting to be in the 30 and 31 range, which is pretty good for a marathon, especially because my estimate's 35. That just means that I have some extra time to kind of like just, you know, mess around, or maybe if I want to show a cool strat or something, which I think I'm actually, you know what? As a gimmick, I think I'm actually going to do the skewed gravity strat, the IL strat for Lost World. Not the full IL one, the old IL one where you just kind of fall past the rock. That would be a really cool strat to show. I mean, the other one would too, but there's no guarantee that I'll actually be able to like pull it off in the allotted amount of time. Okay, I don't have the ring count, so I need to be less aggressive here. There we go. I've been trying to think of things I want to do for the marathon to kind of like spice things up a bit. Stuff that wouldn't require a large amount of practice, but also stuff that wouldn't, stuff that looks cool. Or maybe some kind of like meme stuff, like dumb stuff. Something that would look nice, or maybe get people to laugh, or like be like, "Oh shit, man, this game is cool." And I probably will be promoting the marathon in the Discord as well, including like say telling people like, hey, like, I'm doing my run now. And... Okay, camera. Which I usually don't. I usually don't, like, want to kind of, oh my fuck. Okay, fine. I hate this strat. I hate it with a fucking passion. Usually I don't like going into the Discord and showing things that I've done, runs I've completed, or like marathons that I'm submitting to. I'll say it on my stream, but I think this one I'm actually going to talk about in like the Sonic Discord just because I would like more people to start watching the marathon, even though it's in Spanish. And it's not Speedruns Español, because Speedruns Español, they're big. They're actually fucking big. I'm talking about a different marathon. Which, I may be doing co-commentary for one of the, one or two of the runs submitted to Speedruns Español. Because Serra actually got both of his runs in. Infamous Festival of Blood and Bioshock 2. And I mean, he and I kind of just, we like doing things together. There we go. That was pretty good. I don't think that I will be able to beat these splits, but I know that I will be capable of getting a sub 31 with this pace, which, like, sub 31 is my ultimate goal for the marathon. Getting a sub 31 is, like, the ultimate marathon goal. Like, you can't ask for a run that's better than that. I could get a sub 30, but I'm not going to try to work hard enough. Yes, ultimate ninja power. Okay. Okay, game. Sub 31 looking a little bit tougher now. Okay. I do not have Crash 4, nor am I going to be doing speedruns of it, but hello, Dennis. Can still sub 31. That's a takeaway. I mean, Crash 4 is like, how much is it? Isn't it like 70 bucks or something? That's a little bit out of my price range. A lot out of my price range. But I probably wouldn't do any percent. I'd do time trials though. It'd be fun. If I do end up getting Crash 4 though, I'd probably do a playthrough of it on stream. That sounds like a fun time. But I also wait until the hype for the game dies down, because I'd rather everything be kind of more of a chill experience. Oh, shit. Fun fact, you had a GameStop card on your birthday and saved it. How much did you save on it? Damn. I mean, I hate GameStop. I probably will never set foot in another GameStop, but it is interesting to hear that they still put, you actually had $57 you had paid. Interesting. Yeah. Wonder what happened to the long neck GameStop guy. That is a good question. $57, so I think you saved like 13 bucks? As I think Crash 4 is 70, but it might be 60, I don't remember. But that's still a bit too much for me. I mean, I do technically have the money for it, but that money is not necessarily going towards, purchasing a game that I do not currently need. They look ugly. Box art was incorrect. Ah, right, you know, those used games. The GameStop used games ploy. The classic. The classic. I know the GameStop ploy all too well. They like take a game, they just like take like 10 bucks off of it. Basically brand new, but you're getting just absolutely like you're getting fucking ripped off. With any site content? Oh damn. That's okay. Well, I mean, yeah, that's a good thing at least. You know, the horror stories of buying used games, especially from GameStop, and don't ever get used consoles from GameStop. Holy fuck. By the way, I should have died there. This they push that stuff horribly, and they don't even know half of the crap. Oh, no. That was on me. See, I knew I wasn't gonna make it, so I just decided to give up and try again. That is good practice. I've been missing that. Come on. I'm gonna take damage, but that's okay. That's sad. You didn't pre-order. Wait, they didn't do pre-orders? Why didn't they do pre-orders? The hell? Why the hell didn't they do pre-orders? Oh, which do I prefer? I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no clue. I don't know which one that I would prefer. I mean, I'm not getting either of them, but at least not for a while because I don't have the money for it. But if I had to pick, I might go with the Xbox Series X. Whoa, that is a lot of emotes. Hello, my May, what's up? Oh, you did not pre-order. I don't know which one I would pick. Might go with the Xbox Series X over the PS5, but I honestly don't know because, like, I mean, it's not much. I don't really know. I would see one thing that concerns me about the PS5 is that apparently you can actually like use an Xbox One controller on the Series X or something. I don't know if I heard that wrong or whatever. But I don't know, man. It's like it's weird. Okay. Well, hello. So, like, it's gonna depend specifically on the stuff. Right now, the backwards compatibility with the Series X is what intrigues me the most. Because, some 360 games are gonna be there. Okay. Okay. That hasn't happened in literal years. Woo! But I mean, like, yeah, I really don't know which one I would go for. I'm probably gonna stick with PC for a while. But, damn, I'm having some issues. Boy, having some issues, damn. But as it stands with, like, backwards compatibility, my biggest, like, what attracted me to the PS5 was the idea that I would be capable of playing, like, games from like PS2 and the PS1 era on the PS5 if I were to get it, which, I mean, like, chances are I wouldn't, but that's beside the point. So when I found out that Sony was just like, nah, man, we ain't doing any of that shit, I was just like, bruh. And then I was just like, nope. Like, the Series X, they're, as much as I hate Microsoft, they are doing a better job of, they are doing a better job of, like, at least helping their audience or doing what the audience or the customers want. Which, in these days, backwards compatibility is kind of a must, even beyond the previous generation. And a lot of people were kind of like looking to see that at least some kind of backwards compatibility or emulation would be for the PS1 or PS2, especially with the new, especially with the better CPUs and hardware of the current generation. They should be more than capable of pulling off half-decent PS1 and PS2 emulation. PS3, I mean, it technically should, but like the PS1 and PS2, there is no excuse. There's no excuse for them not being capable of doing that. Like, even Microsoft's actually doing their best with that shit, and that's like, Microsoft has been horrible with backwards compatibility. But I mean, they're still not out yet, and I mean, as much of a train wreck as the Xbox One was, you know, like they even said no Xbox 360 backwards compatibility, but they eventually did do it. And I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie, 360 emulation is garbage. But it was still compatible enough to be playable. I could play Mass Effect or Fable, which I need to get Fable 2 again. I need to play through that game again, man. Fable, whatever other games that I had that were backwards compatible. I tried Unleashed as well, and Unleashed was pretty nice. I didn't like how Halo was, though. There was a lot of things wrong with it. But I mean, like, it's a lot better than what Sony was doing. And it's also a lot better than what Nintendo is doing. It's not very hard to do better than Nintendo in these kinds of situations, because Nintendo doesn't give a shit, but that's beside the point. I mean, you can sing Nintendo's praises, but the one thing that Nintendo is terrible about is preservation of content and backwards compatibility. That is the one thing that I will never let anybody, like, tell me otherwise. They're horrible about it, and they literally do not give it half a shit about it. I'm gonna go for it again. I got this shit 3 times in a row. What the fuck? I shouldn't ever be able to get this. Boop. Still sub 32. Wow. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, I don't know what console I would go for. But I mean, I'm not gonna get it for at least another couple of years or something. 3D All-Stars? Don't get me started on 3D All-Stars. Those were not ports, those were 100% emulation, and they were terrible emulation. Terribly emulated. They're terribly emulated. Yeah, it's also way too much for the amount of work that they put in, and also it has a limited time run, which is absolute bullshit. And now, here's the thing, is that I can understand Super Mario Brothers 35th, like Super Mario Brothers 35, to a degree, because that is like their like anniversary thing that they're doing. Like, say, the Year of Luigi 3DS thing, and they thought that it might be a good idea to have something like that be a limited time run. But the fact that 3D All-Stars is also going by that sets a bad precedent for the gaming industry. Because now that, like, Microsoft and Activision and all the other AAA studios, they're gonna see these kinds of things, and they're probably gonna start trying to do them, especially Activision and EA. Microsoft might be a little bit smarter about that and think that while it is a good idea to cash out on something like that, they have the awareness to be capable of knowing whether or not this is a bad idea. And if a lot of people kind of see these things, they might be seeing, or they do see some of the comments. They do. They don't ignore everything. They probably at least have some kind of insider information to know that people are absolutely upset with this, and if Microsoft does it, that's gonna hurt them. But they can do it anyways. But they may also know that they could make more money by actually setting the example by saying, well, we don't do that, Nintendo. we take pride in our video games. And then like, that is just a huge blow at Nintendo, which is not gonna hurt Nintendo. Nintendo's been around for over a century. They got the money. They have the money. They know that, like, doesn't matter what they do, they're not going to lose their company. They understand that. But they also know that they're gonna do exactly whatever the fuck they want. Which is why I don't really agree with Nintendo. But when I first heard about the Switch, I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking, like, this is a fucking insane idea. This is gonna sell like hotcakes. I knew the Switch was gonna be super popular. Because it's like, basically you have an actual console, but it's a handheld. You can turn it into a handheld. And that is something that is smart. It's something that people should have started eventually doing. Because, like, in today's environment, people are playing mobile games and all that stuff. Oh yeah. I mean, that is the thing about the video game industry, is that nobody is innocent. Nobody is innocent in the gaming industry. It is an industry. But I've seen that they've been a little more responsible with microtransactions in recent years, especially because they're a little scared of the fact that, you know, you're a little bit scared of the fact of giving microtransactions to kids, because they did almost get sued once and caused a huge thing that would have fucked them over financially for anybody who's doing microtransactions. They're a little bit more subtle about it to make them a little more cosmetic based for a lot of the games that I've seen. But yeah, the fact that they just want to starve us because they could get, well, see, I think the whole thing about, like, the Wii U ports and stuff, okay, the Switch is a weak console. I mean, it's powerful for what it is for what it tries to do. But it is not a very good console. It's a weak console. I really don't think that it could do, like, any, like, Wii U ports. It's a miracle that they were capable of getting, like, say, Breath of the Wild onto the Switch. But I mean, the Switch still isn't that strong of a console. I mean, of course, Nintendo doesn't give a shit, but in my opinion, it's more so just, well, the issue is more so the Switch. They've been hinting at making a new Switch that is better or something. Or like a Mark II, which would be backwards compatible with the Switch. Nintendo's been hinting at that, I believe. Or at least people are reading it that way. So it's like, they could start doing more things. And I mean, if you look at how Sunshine and Mario 64 and Galaxy perform on emulators, and those aren't virtual console, those are just standard emulators. If you look at that in particular, it's like, well, holy shit. So that's why they didn't do virtual console for the GameCube, is because, like, for a virtual console, and generally, if I remember correctly, they tried to do, like, specific optimizations for each game. But if it's that bad and they needed to use a different emulator, then, like, well, fuck. Hopefully their next console's good, because I really wanted to play things like Metroid Prime on the go, you know? Like, That is the dream for me. Metroid Prime on the fucking go. You know, to price that shit, price the whole fucking trilogy for like $60 or something like that. Metroid Primes 1, 2, and 3. Price that for $60. Give us the originals. Try to like work around the stuff. Maybe. Hey, what's up? What's up, Letha? That is an issue with the emulator they were using. Not it's not actually a problem with their stuff. It's an issue with the emulator because it happens on Dolphin and Dolphin 2, I think. Yeah, Metroid Prime is like honestly one of my favorite games of all time. See, like if they could. See, the dream game would be to make Metroid Prime 3 controller friendly, and then just basically like do some kind of thing for Virtual Console for Metroid Primes 1 and 2, and then for 3 just port that shit like crazy. Just port it, make it controller friendly. Bam. Well, see, porting isn't emulation. Emulation is emulation. The 3D All-Stars is not a port, it's emulation. It's 100% emulation. They have actual emulators inside of the cartridge, or whatever the fuck. Inside of the ROM. I haven't played Hat in Time, but it looks good. Not a big fan of the devs, though. They were complete assholes to the speedrunners. Like, I would recommend not trying to ask about the drama between the speedrunners and the devs, because it's pretty bad. You're not gonna like the developers after that. So I would say you're clear of that. Enjoy the game. It has something to do with patching stuff, but it was a little bit more of. It was a little bit more than that. I can't remember the full details. There's probably a video on it that you could find out, but I just recommend staying out of all drama and just enjoying the game. A similar thing happened in Sonic Mania as well. Because these more indie-ish games, the devs actually had connections to the speedrunners, and a lot of the times it's ended in drama. And I mean, sometimes some of it was instigated by the speedrunners themselves, but not all of it. Some of it was caused strictly by the developers. Now, a good example, there's three good examples actually I can give of developers who had a good relationship with speedrunners. And the first one that I want to give is Bungie, because Bungie actually loved Halo speedrunning. They loved it. They really loved it. They took part in the segmented speedrun for Halo 1 and Halo 2. Another one was actually Freedom Planet. Galaxy Trail has been fairly active with the speedrunners, and most of their patches have consisted of things that were like basically pixel perfect and like impossible to replicate in a speedrun. Or things that completely destroyed it. Like there was this one thing in Final Dreadnought 2 that was like pixel perfect, and it was kind of shit. And they were like, hey, look guys, we're gonna patch this out, okay? And then speedrunners were like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. That is literally what happened. But like, there was consultation with that. Dreadbox wasn't patched. I forget what Dreadbox is. Oh wait, no, it was Dreadnought 3, wasn't it? Yeah, it was 1 or 3 actually, not 2. Sorry. wasn't thinking about it. Freedom Planet's pretty fun. I used to run the game back in 2014. But that's beside the point. The third thing, which I would say is not necessarily a direct relationship, but it was an interesting thing. The developers of Doom Eternal, I think, actually watched speedruns, and they were watching the speedrun of their game, and they were like, dude, that's cool. Oh yeah, Strife did have a good relationship, great relations with the runners. It was really nice. That if anybody in my chat is thinking about designing a game, there's one thing in particular I can say that I will like absolutely recommend to all of you. Have a good relationship with the speedrunners, and like understand that sometimes a glitch doesn't necessarily mean that your game is flawed. It just means, like, it depends on the glitch. Some glitches keep people coming back to the game. One of the reasons why the Halo trilogy has had such a long lifespan outside of like, you know, multiplayer, or why people look at them so fondly and they lasted for so long, one of the reasons is the glitches and the tricks. The people who find glitches and tricks and stuff, they are still active. They're still active, they're still playing the game, they're still doing all these things. And like, if there's things that are like really nice, oh, that's interesting. Some glitches should not be patched. Just because there's an error doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. Honestly, if Sonic Adventure was, like, patched, while people would find it fun, some people would just not like it at all. Sometimes one of the things that keeps you coming back to the game is that somebody finds a new glitch that you want to try out, you want to see, and you want to use it, see what happens with it. Clips are interesting as long as it doesn't destroy the game completely. I just go mad whenever there's a new... I wouldn't say I go mad, it just... disappointment. There's a lot of issues I have with the current state of the Sonic series. Because, like, they've put themselves in a situation where they have to make Green Hill. Otherwise, people will lose interest because they have no fucking clue how to design games. Putting in loading storage? Oh dear fuck. I hope you're at least, like, adding some kind of a buffer. Or, like, allowing you to kind of like a buffer jumping. Like, at least don't make it 2 frame perfect. Sonic game is easiest to speedrun? That is a very hard question to answer. I think my question to you is, what do you like with speedrunning? Oh, by like buffering, I mean like let's say for instance in Halo, actually, you can like hello. You can like press the A button. I think it's 3-4 frames in 30 FPS, mind you, not in 60. 3-4 frames where you can hold the jump button and you will jump again. That might be a little bit better, but obviously, in my opinion, you shouldn't make it too hard. SA2 might be easy. Okay. So my question to you is, like, what kind of game are you interested in? What kind of tricks are you interested in? What kind of things can you pull off? Because, like, if you're a person who is a lot better at memorization and, like, timing, you should go with a 2D Sonic game. If you're someone who's a lot better at kind of maneuvering around levels, conquer the minds of children, no dear fuck. You're getting into Danganronpa there, buddy. Evil adults, they must all die. Okay. Because of my run. Huh, that's good. There's a Sonic Discord that you could join. For like, you know, being around people with who speedrun the game and stuff. I really would like to redo that tutorial at some point. Once I get the stuff, I can link the Discord in my chat if you'd like, though. I would just ask that anybody who's not wanted to try Pumpkin Hill someday. I would just ask that anybody who's not going into speedrunning, it would be appreciative if you would not join it. Though, I mean, you can if you want, just like, I'm just saying, if you're going into shitpost, you're probably not gonna have a good time. Oh, it was Sam who got you interested in speedrunning this game. Interesting. That's not to say you can't come and chill. I'm just saying, like, it's not a good idea to come in and, like, spoil everybody's mood. That is not what I would recommend. Rules and information. Where's the that is the break the record. No. No. Where the hell is the thing? Is it rules and information? Not rules and information. Oh, okay. Here we go. There. Obviously, make sure to read the rules and whatnot, and yes, I read that, but I'm just, I mean, if you want to make a game, you could go do that, but I'm just kind of like, I'm not really interested in fan games. Or incomplete fan games would be the better term. Idle camera, there we go. Yeah, I'm just waiting until my mom gets done with dinner. Practice a little bit, you know. Chill a little bit. I have no opinion on the idea, to be honest. Because to me, like, an idea is fine, but what's for dinner? Pork chops and some other shit. So, like, anything could be a good idea. It's more so if you... It just depends on, like, how do you execute it. It's more like, well, like, you put it in, you actually do it. That is really what would decide whether I have an opinion on something. I don't like forming my opinion just based on, like, concept ideas unless it's something that I can already try, if that makes any sense. Like, say I want to watch, like, a movie or an anime or something. Like, that, I might actually form, like, whether I'd like to try it or not, but that is something that I will be able to just, you know, play or watch or enjoy. But I usually don't have an opinion on an idea that is not something I can, like, you know, enjoy, because at the end of the day, for me, it's like, will I be able to enjoy it? If the answer is I can't even try to enjoy it, then I don't have an opinion. That makes any sense. It's like, oh, well, I have this idea for a story. Oh yeah, what's it about? It's about this and this and this and this and this. But can I? I have no idea for... I don't know anything about game engines. I have zero knowledge on game engines. I know nothing about coding. I mean, I understand how coding functions to a certain extent, but I don't know anything about engines. I don't know anything about coding, really. I just generally know that when you code something, it's like, oh, well, you could do this, or this, or this, and, like, you can make stuff true or false. That's about as close to... That's all I really know. I would ask somebody who's more knowledgeable on coding or fan games. I mean, people have the Hedgehog engine, but I don't know anything about any of that. Or not the Hedgehog engine, but there was some engine that they used. You should ask people who've participated in Sage. They would know a lot more. Switch to the damn camera, you bitch. Thank you. No! Damn, I suck. Don't use fusion. See, I understand certain aspects of coding because I know that, like, coding uses like language components. Though it's like a step below human language, where human language is highly complex and is based on things like syntax. But human language is very different. Didn't know. That is interesting, actually. But I mean, Yuki's told me about, like, the hell of like, coding Freedom Planet. But yeah, like, coding language is significantly different from... Coding language is significantly different from human language because human languages have different components, like specific complexities that can be based on syntax, but are also based on context and irregularities. Coding languages do not have these kinds of things, like, by a technicality, somebody who is multilingual would have an easier time learning a coding language just because they can speak, if they've like naturally learned a human language later in life, they would be capable of learning coding a little more easily. But that doesn't mean anything because how you use coding language is very different from human language. Yeah, and also in human language, you can mess up and, well, you could just easily fix your mistake. Coding, you need to have different skills. You need to be able to be a good reader, to be able to spot mistakes in the first place, and you need to have a higher, like, understanding of, you need to have a higher understanding of the coding language than for a human language, just because human language is, like, you can interpret things if you make a mistake. Coding language, computers don't really interpret mistakes. And the whole thing could go to shit, yeah. Like, coding has interested me, but I know for a fact that I would never be able to be a coder just because I just coding doesn't, it's just not my thing. I would be interested in learning about the coding languages and knowing about their different functionalities and stuff. Not actually learning how to use it though. Maybe I ought to read it and interpret it. It'd be a fun thing to do one day. But I'm more interested in human languages. I mean, as you can tell by English and Spanish, I'm pretty close to being bilingual now. And I have a little bit of Japanese under my belt. It's still technically like A1 level, but Japanese doesn't have A1. Simple Pong game. Damn! The fuck? Bruh. Jump. There we go. Says you do. Well, it is indeed time for the food, so I'm gonna see if there's anybody to raid or host. Anybody that's on YouTube, if you don't know what raiding or hosting is, basically we find a stream, to send the viewers. If there is one. Oh wait, what's Pi doing? No, he's doing Phasmophobia. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go host distro. So yeah, I'll actually put his Twitch channel in the I'll put his Twitch channel in the chat, and I'm gonna host him. Goodbye, people.